Now going over to the business blunder of the day, you have Starbucks being sued for ethical claims for their sourcing in their advertising materials. Now this comes to us thanks to Emma Thorne, who's the editor over at LinkedIn News, and they note that a new lawsuit claims that Starbucks is misleading customers with claims that its products are, quote, 100% ethically sourced. The complaint filed earlier last week by an advocacy group. Again, I'm not a doctor by any means, but if you click the subscribe button, it may very well help and assist with my speaking ineptitudes. It may maybe help me stop stuttering, speaking too fast. Just saying, compared to the first couple of videos, and now that we have more subscribers, it's gotten a little bit better. Not a lot, a modicum perhaps, but can't hurt to give it a shot. Now, again, going back to the attempted quote, the complaint was filed by an advocacy group by the name of National Consumers League, alleges that the coffee chain has farms and cooperatives in its supply chain that have committed human rights abuses, including child labor and forced labor, and, well, cover your ears if you have children listening, quote, rampant and erogenous sexual harassment and assault, unquote, according to the Wall Street Post. Companies making potentially misleading claims about their products are, quote, ethically sourced or eco-friendly are facing increased scrutiny, with the number of food and beverage class action lawsuits more than doubling in the past decade. Jeez Louise. Doubling. We live in a very litigious society, to say the least. Now, they also know that Starbucks will aggressively defend itself against MCL's allegations. That's from the company's vice president of global coffee, social impact, and sustainability. Now, it looks like the chain in 2022 settled a lawsuit challenging that, quote, ethically sourced claims about its hot chocolate, which, yeah, having any ethical claims about chocolate being sourced is going to be, statistically speaking, very unlikely, just based on geographic regions where cocoa beans can actually be grown and the government's there and people in charge there. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's highly improbable, unfortunately. Now, it'll be interesting to see. Let's see here. Where's it? Pull up this first comment here. I'm curious if they're a Starbucks employee or who they are. No, they're just a publicist talking about Starbucks, how they need to bolster their DEI and ESG scores, and how that's important. Let's see here. So it'll be interesting to see. Starbucks, they make so much money and they have such a massive revenue, they might just pay this off to have it settled. Because again, if you go to court, you have to pay lawyers a lot of money, and they are not cheap. And you're going to have your name dragged through the mud as the case goes. It's going to be a long, litigious case. So that's why you see a lot of these big companies just settle at the end of the day, just because they don't want to have to deal with that whole rigmarole. And I don't know, Starbucks, for how much money they put on the advertising for ethically claimed and ethically sourced, I'm actually surprised they don't have little Starbucks employees just sitting on these farms, just full time, just watching them. That'd be kind of creepy, but for how much their brand is built upon those values and all those things, I'm actually surprised they don't have even more oversight. Perhaps it's by design, because that would increase cost. So let me look at this. Will this affect your decision to actually buy a Starbucks product? I don't think it's going to actually net their sales, not even a single percent point. Because again, Starbucks, they have such an effective market penetration. They're darn near everywhere. There used to be jokes about there being more grains of sand in the world than Starbucks locations. And you look at their growth rate for 2024, their business plan, they're going to open more locations. It's on the playbooks. And if you look at their stock, just to see if this news actually, let's see. Oh, geez, Louise, Starbucks stock. So, looks like the stock went down by a percent point. And that's only one of a bunch of major headlines. So there's not, I guess, in terms of the past year, they're not doing great. Down 13.07%. Granted, the 5-year trend is still great. It's almost doubling at 42.23%. But because they have such a great market saturation, so many number of locations, they serve a premium product that a lot of people appreciate. Granted, I usually just think of them as a mobile office, because they have a place you can sit down, you can boot up your little private hotspot. But Yeah, so really, the only way I could justify paying more than $1 for a cup of coffee is usually because of that business justification. But yeah, it was such a market dominance, and I debate how many people truly care about these statements, if they are true or are not. It is a huge advertising mechanism. But let me know in the comments. Will this cause you to never shop there again or never patronize their store? But I mean, at the end of the day, they built their brand partially on sustainability, on the environment, ethically sourced. That's a huge part of their marketing campaign. To have a lawsuit that goes directly against one of the main components of the company, I mean, that's gotta be the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of January, so if you click that button, I'd greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment and a thumbs up is a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.